Wake up to this. There's a powerful force operating right now, quietly shaping the future in ways no one talks about openly. Yet it's rewriting the rules of power, influence, and change. Founders, investors, leaders like you, there's a ticking tension in your chest, an itch that says you're trapped in a game rigged to keep things the same. You feel the pressure of playing by a system built to tame your fire, to filter your brilliance through a sieve of expectation and convention. It feels like you're running uphill, pushing against limits invisible but suffocating. The world insists you follow the script, asks you to scale the ladder rung by rung, and pretends progress is linear, predictable, safe. But you know better. You know the edge, the place where real change is born, is messy, risky, wild. It's where the rules break down, and a new world is waiting for those brave enough to rewrite them. Now here's what most don't tell you. The most powerful drivers of change aren't on your radar. They're not voting in parliaments or flashing on news screens. They're quietly operating behind the scenes. Family offices. Yes, those private fortresses of wealth, legacy, and influence. Many see them as silent wealth holders, guardians of old money, cautious and conservative. But that's only part of the story. The truth is far more electric. Family offices are the hidden catalysts of global transformation, the secret engines fueling massive shifts you barely notice, but that affect everything you touch: markets, technologies, communities, even societies. You might ask yourself, why haven't we heard this before? Because most people are too busy chasing immediate returns, distracted by the noise of velocity and hype. Family offices operate in a different realm. They think and invest in decades, not quarters. They're patient. They're quiet, yes, but their patience is a superpower. They don't just move money, they build legacies, foster innovation, protect values, and push ideas that the world isn't ready to see yet. To them, time is an ally, not an enemy. And that means the changes they engineer aren't superficial or fleeting. They hit deep, rewrite paradigms, and don't just survive shocks. They create new grounds for growth from them. The frustration you feel, like there's no real freedom or choice, just endless loops of what's expected. It's a direct result of systems designed to produce mediocrity, disguised as stability. What's worse is how isolating it feels to be one of the few who sees the truth. The rare thinkers, the visionaries, the ones burned by boredom and bureaucracy alike, left isolated, misaligned, misunderstood. But guess what? Family offices represent a rare chance to break this isolation. They're bridges, not just between capital and opportunity, but between legacy and future, tradition and reinvention, security and radical change. They are uniquely positioned to connect the rare, the fierce, the hungry for something more. Here's the killer insight. Family offices don't just guard wealth, they can ignite movements. They can back ideas and people that dare to disrupt the status quo with long-term vision that most institutions lack. Their size is nimble, their reach profound. Unlike public markets obsessed with quarterly returns, family offices can fund moonshots, the kind of moonshots that remake industries, societies, even the very idea of what's possible. Think about the bold technologies that could save the planet, the models of business that center human values over profits, the networks of collaboration that tear down barriers of borders and ideologies. Family offices have the capital, but more importantly, they have the mindset to fuel these seismic shifts. But it's not automatic. Most family offices are stuck in old patterns, risk-averse, siloed, inward-looking. That's why the real revolution lies in those few family offices ready to shed the cage of convention and become active architects of change. If you're a founder, investor, or leader watching this now, consider this your frontline intel. Family offices can be your allies, but only if you approach them differently. They listen not just to promises of financial return, but to shared values, mission, and impact. They want partners who dare to think big, who embrace patience, and who understand that real returns are measured in transformation over time, not just spreadsheets. Here's what you can do. Step 1. Stop pretending that speed and volume alone get you anywhere meaningful. Slow down enough to see the patterns others miss. Build relationships with those family offices that align more with vision than just money. Be selective. Align with those who burn as fiercely as you do. These connections can be the catalyst you need to break free from loneliness and small-time thinking. Step 2. Embrace patience like your life depends on it, because it does. The greatest breakthroughs come not from chasing the next trend, but from nurturing bold ideas in the soil of time. Play the long game and watch how those small seeds sprout into tectonic shifts. Step 3. Question everything, even your own assumptions, your own comfort zones. The family offices that will change the world are those that don't settle, that constantly push for new narratives, new values, new ways to measure success. They don't hide behind tradition. They redefine it. Every conversation you have with them could become a spark that lights a bonfire of innovation and impact. Step 4. Build a network. Not one of sameness or noise, but one of complementarity and fierceness, where different talents and visions collide and create something none could alone. Family offices want partners who bring more than capital, who bring ideas, courage, and clarity of purpose to the table. You need to remember this. The real power is not in riding waves made by others, but in creating the currents that make waves possible. Family offices, when unlocked and aligned with the right minds, are not just pools of money. They are movement generators. They can fund and fuel the entrepreneurs and innovators who refuse to settle, who are done waiting for the world to change on its own. They offer a unique infrastructure for the exceptional, for the rare individuals who want not just to fit in, but to tear apart the old and craft what's next. Imagine what happens when these rare individuals find each other, when family offices connect with founders and investors who refuse the illusion of comfort and the lie of safe bets. When this rare combination of patience, capital, vision, and fire comes together, it's not business as usual. It's a force that topples outdated systems, builds new ecosystems, and makes real the kind of future once thought impossible. You are sitting at the crossroads of this emerging reality, and every choice now counts. The era of quiet, cautious capital is ending. The age of catalytic, aligned power is dawning. This is why the biggest mistake you can make is to ignore the potential family offices hold, not just as digital wallets or passive investors, but as gateways to change that's deep, enduring, and world-shaping. The future belongs to those who don't just adapt to the system, but who bend it, break it, and rebuild it with fierce will and clear eyes. Family offices can be the weapon and the shield for this fight, the sanctuary for the rare flame, the network for the misunderstood brilliance, the launchpad for the boldest transformations. If you feel that restless fire inside, the call for more meaning, for real influence, for playing a role in making this world something radically better, then pay attention. It's not about fitting in. It's about standing out with others who dare. Family offices are waiting for the few like you who are done with waiting, done with mediocrity, done with illusion. They want the rare, the bold, the relentless, because that is what's needed. That is what will change everything. You already know the problem. Now it's time to grasp the solution right at your fingertips. Unlock the hidden power of family offices, not as secret keepers, but as open gateways. Link up with those capable of changing the game forever. Create networks that make the radical realistic. Build legacies that matter deeply, far beyond money, far beyond today. The world is fragile. Reality is often a lie. But together, aligned and relentless, you can be the sharp edge that cuts through the noise and shapes the future. No one else is coming to save the rare. This movement won't be loud or flashy. It's happening in the quiet places where family offices meet visionaries, where patience beats panic, where wisdom meets courage, where your fire doesn't get buried but unleashed. The world doesn't need another story. It needs your becoming, your connection, your relentless drive to make what's next real. Don't just watch this change from the sidelines. Become a force behind the change. Seek the family offices that dare to be more than safe havens. Align with those who understand true freedom is ruthless sovereignty, where your will and vision are weapons to build new realities. Don't settle for the system's version of progress. Build the movement of the rare, the fierce, the uncompromising. Because the future is not waiting. It needs you now.